Okay, down here on the bench, we got a guitar, and let's just say it's kind of stupid. All right, so it's an Ovation Applause, okay, factory crackle finish. So these things get cracked all the time, but they're pretty much letting you know right off the bat this guitar is going to crackle. It's just going to, anyhow. We're going to put new strings on it and shine this thing up and try to get it working. You can see it's got years and years of dust on it. And it's just in really, really bad condition. But it might be fun for me to work on this thing, and it might be fun for you guys to watch. It does have the electronics in here. If this works, it will be amazing. But yeah, let's get started. It's an Ovation Applause factory crackle. Yeah, this thing, right? That's the craziest thing you've ever seen. Let's go ahead and get these strings off of here. Applause model AE38, made in Korea. Says Applause up here on the headstock. So I know that Ovation kind of struggles a little bit being known as your grandfather's old guitar. Old guys had these Ovations back in the Glenn Campbell days. I remember that Melissa Etheridge played them in the 80s and the 90s. A lot of guys have played them a little bit here and there, but these are definitely known as the coolest thing going back in again back in the 70s. And so they're, in my opinion, they're kind of hard to sell now. I've got a couple of the American-made Ovations. I think they're called the Legends. But those things have been here in my shop, and I have them priced cheap. And they've been in my shop for, you know, like a year or so now. But it says Applause on the headstock. It's got the round back. Truss rod is right here, so it's easy to get to the truss rod. That's a good thing. I think right off the bat, I think I'm just going to take a cloth and a bunch of some Windex, just to get the top layer of dust off of here. So yeah, so these are known as your grandfather's old Ovation. And so I think what happened here is when they made these inexpensive Applause versions of this guitar, they tried to do something that would appeal to a younger audience. So what's better to do for a younger audience? So let's just make a crackle finish. Let's do some sort of a unique finish. And so they went for the crackle finish. And I'm just, I don't know any of this for sure. I'm just assuming that this is possibly why they would take a guitar like this and put a crackle finish on it. It looks like it has Ping tuners on there, which is a nice brand. And so there's value in those tuners. Let's take a look in here and see if there's an old dead mouse in here or something. Or a battery. Got your output jack right there. It feels like the wires are all in here. Comes over to here where you got your volume and a tone. I don't feel anything that would be a battery. So let's plug it in and tap on the bridge a little bit here and see if we can get some see if we can get some volume out of it. Or something that makes it seem like we might have electronics. What can I use here? All the way to 10. You know what? It's making noise. It sounds good. We have electronics in it. So, that's a good thing, right? That saved a lot of effort. That added some value. This guitar was part of a big hoard of used guitars that I bought. And if you look on the case right here, so right down here is the case that it came in. And right there it says 80. Okay, my camera works horrible, sorry. I paid $80 for this guitar. So after restringing it and everything, am I going to get my money back? Am I going to make a profit? Leave it in the comments what you guys think. What are these things? What can I resell this for? Is this going to need a neck reset? Is it going to play good? It's kind of a, it's kind of a, you know, you're kind of taking a risk by buying something like this. But again, it was such a big hoard of guitars that I went ahead and I just pretty much, to get really good deals on some guitars and not so good deal on some of the other guitars, sometimes you got to buy everything so that you get really good deals on some of the guitars. This maybe isn't that great of a deal, right? But if I can shine it all up real nicely and everything, I might be able to ask, you know, $150 to maybe $200. I'm being super realistic here. I don't know how much this thing was new, but I'm trying to be optimistic about this one. Get in here and wipe some of the dust out. Because I know a lot of guys would be like, dude, don't buy that guitar. That thing's a piece of junk. You'll never get your money back out of it. We're trying to be more optimistic than that, and we're hoping that, yeah, maybe this will turn into somebody's favorite new guitar. Seems kind of like a long shot, but maybe it will. Try to be optimistic about this thing. So right here I'm taking 1000 grit sandpaper that I have folded over, and I got my fingerboard guard, and I'm just kind of polishing on the frets, and they were looking pretty bad. A lot of dust. This fretboard, I'm gonna guess, never been cleaned. I'm also going to guess that this guitar is probably from the 90s, maybe early 2000s, but I kind of think with a Crackle finish, maybe even late 80s. You guys let me know in the comments, when did Ovation even start building or start labeling their guitars Applause, the Applause series? Because it doesn't even say Ovation anywhere on this guitar. Doesn't have Ovation tuners. Doesn't have the Ovation tag on the inside. It just says Applause. So again, I'm gonna guess, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. I might be wrong. It might be a little older than that. Okay. So one more time. Let's grab a microfiber cloth. This time I'm going to spray a whole bunch of this Dunlop Formula 65 on here. And again, we're just going to try to clean. Bonus that the electronics are working. You guys are this far into this video, thank you so much for watching. Consider hitting the subscribe button because I do tons and tons of restring videos. I'm a buy, sell, and trade used guitar shop in Mesa, Arizona. And I buy, sell, and trade guitars every day. And like I was saying, I bought a big collection of guitars, and this was one of them. Alright, so now we're going to take a little bit of some of this Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. We're just going to shine the top of this thing up a little bit. Yeah, it's automotive wax. Okay? Been doing this a long time, just using automotive wax. One bottle of wax lasts a long time, and I get good results with it. And on a used guitar like this, it's the best and most inexpensive way to do this. Shine this thing up. The goal is to make things look newer and nice. And people come in my store and they glance at the guitars and they're like, they're shocked that it's all used guitars inside my store. I hear that every day. They're like, these are used? Yeah, and they're all used. I shine these babies up and I restring them and polish them and I try to get them to look as nice and new as possible. Okay. It's a little annoying how it keeps rocking back and forth like this. Okay, but that looks pretty good. Let's go one more shot of some of this 65 on there. Okay. Yeah, when I saw this guitar, it made me giggle. This thing, it's funny looking. Why would they do that? They tried to go with like an 80s hair metal finish on a Ovation acoustic. It's kind of silly, but I mean, if you were in Def Leppard or something, you know, the guy in Steel Panther would probably want to play this thing. Satchel, right? Or what's the other guy's name? The lead singer. Lexi? No, that was the bass player. I forget the guy's name right now. But yeah, these Steel Panther boys, they'd probably want to play this thing. Okay. Music Nomad F1 oil. I put this on all the rosewood necks. And I'm starting to run out. I'm going to eventually order something new so that I can try different products. This bottle is almost completely dry. But here in another I don't know, a month or 2 or 3, I'll end up with some sort of different product to put on your fretboard. So we can all sort of experiment together. And then eventually, you know, we'll have our favorites. The Music Nomad stuff seems really good. And then I also smear some on the bridge piece. You can see if I lift this saddle out of here, if it comes right out, you can see that we got the electronics underneath there. So you can't really shim it or anything like that because then your electronics will get covered. So yeah, but that's looking good. So this fretboard stuff cleans and hydrates, and so you let it soak in there for a little while, and then you just wipe on it for a while, and it will get, you know, the last guy that played this before he let the dust get to it, get all his DNA off of there. And it shines it up pretty good. So applause. We got ping tuners. Let's go ahead and I have my wrench right here, and I usually use the 10mm wrench side, and I snug these tuners down. They're always loose. Almost every guitar I restring, you need to snug these tuners. And then I do these videos, and I don't really look on eBay or Reverb or anything and look at pricing. I just go ahead and treat every guitar pretty much the same. So now I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down one more time to get the excess off. It does have a couple, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and hit the fret ends. I got my StewMac fret file, and one side of it is completely flat and the top side is kind of rounded. And so I use the rounded edge against the guitar, against the neck, and I just sort of give these one swipe, and I roll over the top. Well, there I went 2 swipes. But you do one swipe over the top. And other guitars, expensive guitars, you take more care. And you slow down, and you maybe tape the neck off. But on this applause, we're just going to hammer through it here real quick. One swipe on each side. This is a cutaway model, so that makes it nice once you get up into this neighborhood. But right here, you got to kind of just be careful not to scratch the body. Oh man, that's so much nicer, just like that. Let's check the truss rod. So I got my wrench right here. Let's see if this is the right wrench. Nope, that's not the one. Let's try this one. One's too small, one's too big, one's too small. Let's try this one. We're eventually going to figure it out. There we go. Most important thing when you're working on a truss rod is to make sure that you're using the perfect wrench to go in there. Okay, so let's loosen it just to see. Oh, it's super loose. Move that far. Let's go ahead and tighten it. Snug it down. There we go. One turn. That was a good quarter turn right there. Okay, right there. Seems nice and tight. We can take my notched straight edge, and I'm going to assume that this is a short scale guitar, so my straight edge says short scale. Lay that right there. And I am wrong when I assume that. This is a long scale guitar. So, put my reading glasses on so I can see this. Long scale guitar. And we move it up like this, and oh, that looks good right now. It's nice and straight with just a little bit of back bow right here, and that should be good. We didn't just scratch it. You got to be careful. A lot of guys say don't hang your tools when you're working on guitars. This is my back wall right here. And you see I got some scissors, but I try not to put too much big heavy stuff right here that could accidentally fall and land on the guitar. Got to make sure not to do that. This is my BC Riches back there. But yeah, you want to hang the heavy stuff off to one side or another. Don't have it right here where it could fall on a guitar. But yeah, I kind of like where that is set right now because we're going to have nice low action on this. And we might have to make an adjustment and loosen that up a little bit after we get some strings on it so we can really see where the string height is at. But yeah, so as of right now, there's one less thing to do, and that's go ahead and throw some strings on it and let's see what happens. Okay guys, today's string choice, DR Custom Like Veritas Acoustic. Accurate chord technology, long play. Includes 2 free bonus strings, corrosion proof pack. So it should be sealed in here nice and tight, good. So just means they won't rust while they're inside this plastic, which is a good thing. Veritas, DR Handmade Strings, Westwood, New Jersey, made in the USA, completely new category of long-lasting acoustic strings. Superior core wire is recognized as the foundation for rich tone, accuracy, intonation, durability, accurate chord technology. Wow, they've got me convinced. We're going with DR strings on this one. That's the 1 and the 4. Dear awesome guitar player, we hope you enjoy the bonus Xenon plain strings, Xenon trademark. Hope you have a fun experience. DR strings. 2nd and 5th, 3rd and 6th. Okay, here we go. DR strings. Oh, look at that. T-shirts available. Blank back. Slap happy. Angry strong. Or highly strung choices. DR strings. T-shirts available. I guess you'd want to go to drstrings.com would be my guess for that. Here we go. Fast forward through all this. Okay, so what I just noticed is they give you extra strings, but one of these is the dark, I guess they would call it brass looking string, and this one is the nice clear chrome looking string. I'm gonna put the old copper looking brass ones on there. It also butter soft leather straps available, black, chocolate, brown, and tan at drstrings.com. Okay, I can just put this and hide this and save it for later. Okay, so now we have it all strung up and we have proper string tension, and it looks like we could tighten that truss rod a little tiny bit more now just to try to bring our string height down. So let's see if I can give it another turn on here. Oh yeah, let's tune it up one more time. And make sure that it's not fretting out. Oh, that looks good right there. Oh, I did that twice. Cut that part out for me. Okay, let's tighten this up a little bit now. Okay, let's tune it up a little bit now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and strum this thing a little bit for you guys. I have to say I am pleasantly surprised. I'm just plugged into a little Fender Frontman 15 under my repair bench here. Here's with the volume off. Kind of dark. Put it all the way back up in the amp. perfect for that lead singer that has, you know, plays rhythm guitar on 1 or 2 songs. There you guys have it. We put this thing back together. We shined it up. It was easy. Turned out great. Thanks for watching.